Imagine being so deeply obsessed with beauty and superficial perfection that you are willing to transform yourself into a literal monster just to fix a single scar. This is the tragic and deeply unsettling story of Jeanette, a stunning, high-profile nightclub dancer whose entire life is completely shattered in a single evening. After a massive, heated argument with her intense sailor boyfriend, Pierre, who demands that she quit her dancing career entirely, she storms off into the night in a blind, emotional rage. Blinding tears cloud her vision as she speeds down the winding, dark coastal roads, completely losing control of her vehicle. The car spins wildly off the slick pavement, rolling down a steep embankment before bursting into flames. Jeanette miraculously survives the fiery wreck, but her life will never be the same again. When the medical team finally unwraps the heavy, thick bandages covering her face at the hospital, her absolute worst nightmare is realized. The left side of her face is horribly burned, deeply scarred, and permanently disfigured. Her dancing career is over and her legendary vanity is utterly crushed. She plunges into a deep, dark, suicidal depression, completely unaware that a brilliant but severely deranged scientist has been watching her tragic story unfold from the shadows. Professor Alberto Levin, a cold, calculated nuclear research expert who has spent decades studying the bizarre mutations and cellular changes caused by intense radiation. Along with his loyal assistant, Monique, she tracked down the broken, grieving dancer at her absolute lowest moment in the hospital ward. She approaches her bedside and offers her an unbelievable miracle. She claims that she has secretly invented a revolutionary, underground serum called Derma-28. A chemical compound that can completely regenerate damaged living tissue and flawlessly restore her former beauty. Desperate for a second chance at life and unable to face a world looking at her scars, Jeanette secretly leaves the hospital in the dead of night and moves straight into the doctor's isolated, highly secured villa on the edge of town. At first, the highly experimental radiation treatments work like absolute magic. After a few agonizing, intense experiment was done, the thick, scaly scars completely vanish from her skin, and Jeanette's breathtaking beauty is fully restored.
Jeanette.
Professor Levin stares at his medical creation, instantly becoming madly in love and utterly obsessed with her form. But this incredible scientific miracle carries a horrific, hidden catch. The cellular regeneration is completely unstable, and within just 24 hours, Jeanette's face begins to violently decay right back into a scarred, melting nightmare. The doctor races down to his dark, subterranean laboratory to prepare another heavy dose of the treatment, only to realize he has completely run out of the pure, base Derma-28 formula. To synthesize more of this volatile serum immediately, he cannot use synthetic chemicals. He needs to harvest live, organic tissue directly from the pituitary glands of fresh, young female victims. Driven by his obsessive, desperate desire to keep Jeanette beautiful and dependent on him forever, Levin decides to make his first ultimate, horrific sacrifice. He lures his own faithful assistant, Monique, down into the dark corners of the lab. Before she can even realize what is happening, he cold-bloodedly murders her, carefully extracting the vital glands from her throat. He injects the fresh batch into Jeanette, and her flawless beauty returns once again. But Levin knows he cannot keep committing these brutal, bloody crimes as a normal man. To completely bypass his human conscience, the mad scientist intentionally injects himself with an unstable, toxic prototype chemical called Derma-25. The experimental formula causes his flesh to violently warp, transforming his body into a hideous, deformed, and completely remorseless monster with supernatural strength. Now, a terrifying wave of absolute panic completely grips the entire city. Every single night, the deformed, hulking creature prowls the dark alleyways and quiet streets, hunting down innocent young women, ripping open their throats to harvest their glands. and then stepping right back into a specialized nuclear radiation chamber inside his villa to painfully gas himself back into his normal human form. Meanwhile, back at the estate, Jeanette begins to realize she is actually a prisoner in a house of horrific secrets. She grows increasingly terrified of Levin's intense, aggressive romantic advances and notices the strange, sudden disappearance of Monique. At the exact same time, her sailor boyfriend Pierre finally returns to port from his long voyage at sea. He is completely devastated and shocked to find Jeanette's hospital bed empty and her house abandoned. He goes directly to the local police headquarters. But the head detectives completely refuse to believe his story, assuming the scarred dancer simply ran away to hide her face from the world out of shame. Refusing to let her go, Pierre begins his own dangerous, independent investigation. Slowly tracking the clues through the city's nightlife straight toward Professor Levin's isolated estate. The final hour approaches as Jeanette accidentally stumbles upon the hidden basement. Discovering the truth behind the horrifying local murders plaguing the city news. Horrified to learn that innocent women are dying horrible deaths just to maintain her temporary beauty. She completely rejects Levin, screams in his face, and tries to escape the villa into the safety of the night. But the mad doctor has lost his mind entirely to the chemical mutations. Realizing the police and Pierre are closing in on his gates, he takes his final, massive injection of the monster serum, transforming into the unstoppable beast one last time to destroy Jeanette. So no other man on earth can ever have her. Just as the creature corners her against the wall, Pierre crashes through the heavy wooden doors of the villa alongside a team of armed police officers. The beast charges at them with raw, supernatural fury. But a relentless barrage of gunfire hits the monster square in the chest. The creature stumbles backward, watching as life fades from his eyes. The chemical spell finally breaks, turning the beast back into the dead, lifeless body of the normal Professor Levin. Jeanette is finally safe in Pierre's arms, realizing that true love sees completely past the temporary scars of the physical world. While the dark, selfish pursuit of perfection only leaves a path of monsters and ash. When you look in the mirror, what lengths would you go to in order to change what you see? Would you risk your soul for a flawless reflection? Let me know your thoughts on this tragic sci-fi horror in the comments below. If you enjoyed this recap, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more dark stories. Until next time, be careful what you wish to become.
Dad! Dad! Oh!